lot of people get shunned for being physically fit.
Sure.
And I don't believe in shaming anybody for anything. And if you're happy with the way your life is, you know what, buddy, you just be happy and do your own thing. Yeah. But if you're not happy, you don't have to settle. And that's I think some of the underlying topic and underlying discussion that people are having is, oh, well, if you're not, just settle for who you are. Just be happy with who you are. But I believe that we were built for greater. And if you have that burning desire and the aching void in the pit of your stomach, and you're like, man, I know I'm where I'm at and I'm content, but I know I was built for more, then you have control, you have the power. And one of the easiest things, the easiest way to gain the grit and the determination and the resilience is to be physically fit. Because as you are going through physical fitness and you're achieving higher pillars and you're pushing your body beyond boundaries, you're building yourself up so that mental toughness is there when other aspects of your life go wrong. So you can't control your relationships, you can't control business, certainly can't control politics. One of the things that we can control is our mind and our physical fitness and how we feel about ourselves. So if you are physically fit, you're going to be mentally tougher. You're going to be making better emotional decisions, and your actions and your reactions are going to be better because of that.
That's so good. Yeah, it's interesting that you brought out the concept of someone being shamed or looked down upon for being fit, because it's like it doesn't matter which side of the pendulum we fall, because I do remember, I'm on a fitness journey now, but when I was 70 pounds heavier, 60 pounds heavier, that I looked down at some people. Oh, they're so vain. Oh, look at them. Gosh, they're taking their shirt off again. Like all of these different things where it's like I had a finger pointing towards them. And then also, sometimes there's some, very egotistical entrepreneurs on the other side who are pointing the finger and shaming the other. So there's definitely this shame thing that we just need to drop on both sides. I would thank you for bringing that out.
Yeah, definitely. And if you in your mind, if you talk trash or you hate that other thing, you will never become that thing.
Yeah.
So if you're good. And you don't have to be super shredded. You don't have to be Tarzan. And physical fitness for different people is different, right? You don't have to, we're moving into the Olympics right now. The Olympics are coming to town. We just had the Tour de France. If you're looking at being an athlete, that athleticism and that level of physical fitness is different than somebody that, wants to have a multi-million-dollar business, wants to have good relationships. I mean, it's all about your priority and how that serves the purpose of your life. So I think one thing is we look at somebody else and we're like, oh, look at them. But now you're judging yourself based on them. And that's not going to help anybody. And if you hate that, your mind will never allow you to become what you hate.
Yeah. It just won't. It's total resistance. Yeah. Thank you for bringing out to the concept of control, because you're right. Like some of these other areas, it's like we can't control other people. I mean, we can influence them and we can show up as the best version of ourselves, and hopefully we win them over, and we can influence them greatly. But in the ultimate scheme of things, it's like we can't control people, but I can control what I put in my mouth. I can control whether I go to the gym. That is so true. Like focusing on the things you can control. Powerful advice. Take us into some key elements that kind of form this foundation of, healthy physical body. This podcast is directed towards men. Maybe they haven't started their journey, or maybe they just started their journey. What's going to help them get kind of a foundation for health?
So just like Tim said, if you're brand new to physical fitness, never walked into a gym or haven't really developed any kind of fitness program, if you're somebody that was physically fit and you've kind of fallen off, you've backslid because your priority has been a business or family or something else. Or if you are competitive and you're moving and grooving and you want to take it to the next level, there's several things that you have to, at every step of the journey, you have to take into consideration. The first one is going to be your activity. Again, this is different from somebody that's just starting off to somebody that is a world-class athlete, but you've got to have strength. You've got to have power. So strength would be, weight training, giving your body some resistance to help build and sustain muscle tissue. You've got to have some kind of power. Okay. And then the other things would be endurance, which would come into like cardiovascular exercise. So you have cardiovascular endurance, you have muscular endurance, those basics for activity level. And those are set up different. Like I said, from somebody that's beginning to a world-class athlete, it's going to look a lot different for somebody, but that activity is crucial and essential to staying, physically fit. The other thing is your nutrition. Nutrition is the key. I speak about this at seminars, and I tell people, if you have the most impeccably awesome fitness program, I mean, the program design is just immaculate, but you don't have any care or concern for your nutrition, you're going to fall short. You're going to have haphazard results. If any, they're going to be lackluster. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to quit. But if you have your nutrition dialed in, and you have a just hodgepodge of spaghetti on the wall and hoping some of it sticks program, you are going to see more results in a shorter period of time.
Yeah.
With that said, thinking, okay, well then if nutrition is so easy, so many people, my brand new clients just talking to me and wanting to, get physical fit, nutrition is the hang up. Oh, well, I don't want to give up this. And well, can I have this? And now you start making those, well, well, now hold on a second. I thought when we first talked and we signed up, you were all in, So what I try to do now is as I've gotten older and a lot more experience with thousands of clients, I work on the physical fitness and add nutrition in over time. I don't just say, let's just wipe everything out and we're going to start with a clean slate, because it overwhelms a lot of people. So activity and then nutrition. And what I mean by nutrition, because, when you go to the doctor and they say, well, you need to get a little healthier, you need to lose a little weight. Okay, what do I need to do? What is eat right and exercise? Well, what does that mean? That's
right.
A broad statement. So nutrition, real simple, would be making sure that you're drinking 128 ounces or a gallon of water a day, and really eliminating and lowering how many processed foods you're eating. If it comes out of a box, it's probably not something that you need to put in your body. I do back in the day when I owned my gym, we used to do a supermarket tour where we would take people through the supermarket and we would show them the pitfalls. We would show them the places to stay away from. And then we show them where all the healthy food is around the perimeter of the supermarket, and how to put together nutrition programs and nutrition design so that it's going to help benefit you and your body in the long term.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the third part of this, it's a trifecta, is rest and recovery. So sleep is important. As entrepreneurs, if a lot of you are entrepreneurs, you're staying up late, you're getting up early, you're burning the midnight oil because you just want to hustle. And when I was in my 20s, I thought that was the way to go. I kind of flip-flop. I do have days where I stay up late and I get up early. But what I try to do on an ideal night, if I'm not out, doing some security work or something, I try to go to bed at 9:30, and then I get up between 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30, depends. If I do try, really can't. I have 3 canines. They don't really let me sleep past 6. But I try to get that. And if I feel tired that day, I'm going to base my fitness program on how I feel. The other thing, and these are the other thing, and all of this stuff that I'm teaching right now and sharing with you guys is all stuff that you can control. Very simple, very easy.
Absolutely.
You don't have to go outside yourself to find this stuff. Another thing that you can do to help lower stress and help recover is your breathing exercises. One of the ones I teach about, there's about 17 different techniques that I teach, but the one that I really fall back on all the time, and we use this a lot in security, is the box breathing technique. Navy SEALs kind of brought that to the forefront, but it's basically, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4, or 5, 6, 7. But it's basically making a box with your breathing. It'll help bring you back to parasympathetic, where you're out of fight or flight mode. You're able to calm down. You're able to relax. And even if you're just sitting in your office, you've been on Zooms or all day or whatever, if you do that for not even 5 minutes, it's going to bring you back down, and you're going to start to feel more calm. You're going to feel more energized. The last 2 things would be meditation and visualization. Obviously, if you're an entrepreneur and you're getting after it, visualization, setting yourself up for success first thing in the morning, visualizing how your day is going to be. at the end of the day, visualizing what happened, reprogramming it to make it more positive, and then going into a small visualization of how the next day is going to be. And then meditation, depending on if that's something that you do, it really helps with recovery of the body, because you can go deep inside your mind and start to work on what it feels like, how it is. And meditation is very, very crucial in rest and recovery.
Yeah, I agree, brother. That's one thing, coming from like a high intellectual or cognitive sort of person, where you have a lot of data and you're presenting a lot of data to the world. Like these kind of people, man, their recovery should be a detaching from those sort of things and really meditative, like you're talking about. I did want to comment on your box breathing, and put this example out there. And I'm not recommending that people should do this, but I sprained my ankle really bad on the job one time, and I was new to it, and I was within that period of time, and I wasn't calling off. Like it just, so I, literally did what you're talking about, and I breathed myself through the whole day. I had like 6 hours left. And it was a whole, just like, box breathing, like it gets you out of that, even out of pain, even
it
like
really does.
sort of thing. Yeah. So it absolutely works, man. Works good. I touched a little bit more on something that you brought out, starting out and then progressively adding stuff, because I made this mistake starting out. I'm like, I'm going to get fit. I went to CrossFit, and I just kept on hurting myself. And, I had a lot of weight to lose. And I had a coach tell me, bro, like you need to be drinking water, getting steps, and focusing on your nutrition. Let's do CrossFit in a little bit. And then, cause I was always hurting myself, going to the chiropractor, like all this stuff. So talk to us about starting out right and progressing, like, and not,
all in.
Overkill.
Gotcha. So that's 20 years ago. I was thinking about this before we talked. 20 years ago, I wrote a report called The 7 Deadly Mistakes When Starting a Fitness Program. Okay. Number one is too much, too quick. Yes. We get so excited. We get so fired up. We read that 300-page book. We're all in. We're going to do everything. And we set up everything. And then we do too much. And there's two parts of that. One is if it's physical, if you're doing the physical part and you decide you're going to go from couch to 5K, but you're going to do it in a day. And you've been on the couch for so long, you get up and you go to the gym, you do cardio for 30 minutes, you do an aerobics class, you do some weight training, then you come home and the next day you do the same thing. And by day 3, you can't move. You're in so much pain, you can't even sit down on the toilet without hurting. That is too much. Right? It's baby steps in progression. The other thing is what I had kind of touched on earlier is everything that you're doing in a daily basis is a habit. These habits that were not formed yesterday. You want to add new habits. So think about, rather than eliminating everything out of your daily routine, start to add new things in, and you'll notice that other habits fall off. You can't change all of your habits over time. But as you're going through your day, start tracking down what your bad habits, what your good habits are. Then you can start to analyze, can I remove this now, or should I just leave it? What I would recommend is if you're going to watch Netflix for, 10 hours a day, all right, let's get 10,000 steps. So go walk for an hour a day. Just go do that. Rather than eliminating the 25 fast food places that you visit on a daily basis. Obviously, I'm joking by right, but let's just have a good breakfast. Okay, let's just set you up. Let's just do breakfast. Instead of drinking, 8 Cokes a day, let's maybe cut down 2 or 3. Let's increase your water. You'll notice over time that you don't want the bad stuff anymore because you're seeing progress. You're feeling better. And then you'll start, you're taking, rather than just dumping everything on one time, you're compounding and building up these new habits. And you'll notice that the bad habits just kind of fall to the wayside. So that's the best way to approach a brand new physical fitness program.
Yeah. I'm such a believer in that. That is so good. I correlated that to nicotine and stuff when I was trying to quit. and taking up physical activity that was inconducive with smoking, and then getting around a friend group that was like nobody smoked, and getting away from the environments, because smoking it's a social experience. Right. Like break time, everybody's shooting the breeze, smoking a cigarette. Like, so get away from that and get another social group where they're like, if you smoke, that'd be really weird. If you you had all of this physical activity and you didn't feel like that you wanted to get away from smoking, the good is always going to consume the bad if we let it, right?
Exactly.
That's the truth, man.
In your environment, like you said, if you're trying to stop smoking, if you're trying to stop drinking, if you're trying to get fit and stay off the couch, you may have to lessen your friend group. You may have to change your friend group, and you need to be in an environment that's going to help support you. If you have this goal of getting after it and doing something, but everybody is like, no, just come back here. The crab's in the barrel, right? Just come on back here. Come on back here. You're going to fall back into the barrel, or they're going to break your legs, just like with the crabs. So you've kind of once you're in that, if I, when I was doing triathlon, couldn't imagine anybody walking up smoking. We just, like you said, he'd be like, you got 4 heads, well, why would you do that? So people will kind of hold you to a different standard. It's not that they're calling you, and I guess, it really is. They're calling you out because you want to do this. We are going to hold you accountable. So you need the accountability partners that are going to baby shake you, smack you around a little bit and say, hey, because the softer side of Sears needs to be left over here. If you have a goal, if you really want, and I'm back to what we said in the very beginning, if you believe you were built for more and built for better, you got to have those accountability. And sometimes it's going to hurt. Sometimes you're not going to want to hear what they have to say. But if they truly come from a place of love and knowing that I believe in you and I want to see you succeed, then they're going to tell you the stuff that you don't want to hear sometimes to keep you on track.
Yeah. That's good, brother. That's good. Take us into a practical action item that somebody listening to our conversation today could take and run with it, like right now.
Okay. You have more control than you think you do. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is the media, maybe friends and family, society, has social media for sure, has told you that you need to stay in this nice little box. Mm-hmm. You don't need to go anywhere else. And we have given up so much of our control to outside forces. If you first take 100% responsibility for everything in your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you had a bad breakup, you know what? You have to be happy for that, because now you're going to be a better person for experiencing that badness. Mm-hmm. You can't just be happy for the good stuff and not for the bad. You got to take it both. Understand that you have control. We don't have a lot of control over a lot of things, but we do have control over our actions and our reactions. We have control over our emotions, and we have control over our physical fitness. Now, I'm not saying somebody that was born with type 1 diabetes. Obviously, somebody's, there are going to be outliers. But for most of us, we can control what we think, and we can control how we act, and we can control how we move in real space and time. So it doesn't matter the program. Don't get stuck on the program. Don't get stuck on the nutrition plan. Don't get stuck on all of that. Know that you have control to regain your life, regain your health. If you're unhealthy, you can go from unhealthy back to health. You can go from dis-ease back to ease. All you have to do is be persistent. Know that it's going to take time. We're not Amazon Prime. It's not going to happen tomorrow. And trust the process. Believe in yourself and constantly think, I'm going to get to where I want to go. If I continuously keep doing things to get me in the direction that I want to go, if I constantly am taking actions here. So a question that you can ask yourself every week is, am I doing better this week than I did last week? If the answer is yes, then you are improving. You will ultimately get to where you want to go. So constantly make decisions and make choices. Stop when you're about to have a cheeseburger and say, is this decision that I'm about to make, is it going to get me closer to or farther away from my goal? If most of the decisions, 80% of your decisions will get you in the direction of your goal, you will ultimately get to where you want to go. But if you notice that you constantly keep making the opposite decisions that are backsliding you, then you need to ask yourself, is the goal really something that I want, or was it imposed on me by something that I saw or somebody else influencing my decisions? And that right there will get you all of your control back. You will be healthier, you will be happier, and you will live a long peak performance life.
That's good, brother. Take us into some of your programs, system, what you do, and let the men know how they can connect with you, whether that's social media or a website or whatever.
So the best way to connect with me right now is through Facebook. You can find me at Nathan, middle initial J, Nowak. You'll see a picture of me, and I most of the time I'm always got a black shirt on. And then my Facebook group is Trinity Fitness. It's going to be a red background with a white N, and it's free to join. You can just jump in there and check it out. I give a lot of nutrition, a lot of fitness, a lot of empowerment to get people where they want to go. My program that I encourage people to start off with is my 21-day body transformation challenge. So if you go to 21daybodytransformationchallenge.com, first thing is going to pop up is my 15 keys to optimizing your nutrition. Because like I said before, nutrition is the key. So you can get that for free. Check it out. And then you will be redirected to a video and the 21-day challenge program. If that's something that you want to do, jump in there. That is good for someone who's just starting off on their fitness journey, somebody that's been, in good physical fitness before, but it's kind of fallen off the wagon, and athletes that are looking to step it up to the next level. There's 3 parts of that challenge. So those are the places to find me right now. And you can just private message me and ask me questions. I'm always here to help folks.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much for your time, man. I know that brothers will find a lot of value in what you said. I know that I did. So thank you so much, brother.
Awesome.
I appreciate
that.
No
problem. This has been great. Thank you.